Well, I have come to learn a new term. Full-figured people. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Maybe one or two of you out there have heard that term as well. But today we will be talking about a very, very interesting story. This one I have not heard, right? But I've heard something similar. And I'm going to introduce that similar story first before we take a look. So the story was on TikTok, obviously went viral all over the place. There was a woman who's known to be a very famous fat influencer. I guess that's how you say it, like body positivity influencer. And she wanted to go on a horse ride. So she went and booked this, trip on this ranch or however you say it. And when she arrived there, she was dismissed. Like they told her, unfortunately, we cannot allow you to climb any of our horse because you're just too heavy, and that poor animal can only carry X amount of weight. And because we're trying to protect the animal, and also that is somehow part of the business, because if those animals are injured somehow, the business is, down. However, they did not allow her to go on the horse, on any of the horse, because she was simply too heavy. And what happened was she went on the internet and she tried to drag that business down, trying to, point out the mistreatment, obviously using words like discrimination against her weight because she's a bigger woman and all that things. And I do not remember this case turning out to be like a court case, someone getting sued or not, but I remember this case was obviously pushed to the public and people were making their opinions, and it was not really the best experience for that business, right? But today, instead, we are going to be looking at a woman. I struggle. I'm not talking properly. We will be looking at a woman who is known to be a musician, I guess. I've seen one clip, to be honest. I've seen one clip on Instagram while scrolling. And she happens to be... Why did I say it that way? She's overweight. She's very much obese, okay? To a degree where I would say, please, this is not funny anymore. However, she booked a Uber ride or a Lyft ride, and that person arriving, instead of picking her up, letting her into the car, they said, I am very sorry, I cannot allow you in this car. And what happened is now she's trying to sue the company. What do you think about this? So let's take a look.
Nice. And Fox News' Jessica Dupnack is live in Detroit with this story. And my goodness, tell us how this all unfolded here, Jessica.
Well, it all unfolded on video. Deja Banlane whipped out her phone when this all happened. Now, the Lyft driver, he was kind enough and apologetic, but refused her a ride and said that she would not fit and that her weight couldn't be handled by his tires. Now she's filing a lawsuit.
Have you been in cars that size before?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that,
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions.
So now, before we continue, I am not here to make fun of anyone. Unfortunately, this is her choice to some degree, I would say. But if we want to point out that there is nothing cute, fun, healthy, great about choosing a life like this, you're just putting yourself in such a bad position, not only health-wise, but also your social life. And I'm not talking about the fact that, okay, now she did not get into this car. That's not what I'm pointing out. I just think in general, there is no need why anyone should be promoting this way of living.
Wow.
Watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me, you can.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires,
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
Every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
No, I don't never have to order order Uber XL.
So now me personally, I'm actually not trying to entertain this. If she is in the right, if he's in the right, we don't know. I also think suing someone for this is a bit extreme, to be honest. But, okay, people can have their own opinion on this. I don't think if I was to be in the situation you're expecting to get a ride and you don't get a ride, obviously, definitely, that's going to be very sad. You're going to be mad, all that good stuff. I understand, okay? But what I'm trying to point out is that one comment actually said it quite well when it said something like, her body, her choice, his car, his choice. Okay, now I know this person is working for someone. That's a different story for another day. But you see, we take certain choices over time in our lives, and that choice is going to in any way, shape or form stand right in front of you and confront you, right? So some people will argue, oh, it's not fair, I am so big, the world needs to adapt to me, but the world can only change and adapt so far. Another thing that I want to point out is that, you see, when you take this too far to push your body to the limit, right, you're putting yourself at risk. Think about a situation where you might need help, okay? It's not going to be easy for anyone to just, let me say, grab you, pick you up, draw you out of that situation. Things like that. Even in healthcare, you want to get the certain treatment, you want to get the certain surgery, procedure, diagnosis. It's just tough because your body is even going to put certain medical, how to put it, resources at its limit, right?
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough.
Well, I'm just hoping this is not some kind of sad way to promote your music, right?
As she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like,
Crushed. They ain't shit.
it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like a lift.
Look, I will not deny the fact that I can imagine that is going to hurt her feelings. It would hurt anyone's feelings. We all as human beings do not react happily when we are faced with rejection, okay? So I can have some kind of empathy for that. But if you know my podcast, I'm sorry. I just don't support this kind of a lifestyle. It does not make sense to me. That doesn't mean everyone needs to be super skinny and always at the gym all the time, but I just don't see this.
Might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, I don't want to have black people in my car. I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car.
So we live in a world where everyone has different opinions, which is definitely beautiful. And I'm not even mad that she's trying to take her chance and see if she can get some money out of this. Why not? The system is built that way. Take your try. The lawyer is definitely having a good time because he is going to get paid anyways. You winning the case, you losing the case, he's cashing out. I would be interested in knowing people's opinion. If they see this the same way, would they equate this as, it's kind of like you're saying I'm discriminative because you have certain race, or certain race is such a bad thing to say, but you get it, you have certain background, you believe in certain things, I'm not going to pick you up in my car. Are they allowed to say that? Are people allowed to bring their personal judgment into this? Are they supposed to just, do what the company says? Is the company, maybe there are some policies we do not know, but overall, what do you think about this situation?